So to retrieve the displacement map in ZBrush, I need to get down to the base level, which it's already the case. And I will drop the texture. I will uncheck texture, and I see that there is already a bit of painting. I don't know quite why, but this is not a problem. I'm gonna do new texture and everything's gonna be alright. So anyway, I don't need this texture map for now because I didn't paint any colors or diffuse map or whatever. So I go into the displacement map tab, and I just need to check that smooth UV is checked, so everything's okay, and I will do a displacement map. I wait a second. Is subdividing the UV, creating displacement map, and now it's done. So I can check it because it's reprojecting this map here that we can not quite see. Wait a minute, I will close this shelf to have more room. Okay, see, the displacement map is here, so now I need to export it to 3dsmax. So I will do clone displace, and the displacement map is going in the alpha icon. I click on the alpha icon and export, and then back into the folder, Le Chasseur, and I'm gonna call it disp in capital because I like to keep the naming convention clear. Disp or diffuse for the diffuse channel, bump, etc., etc., and normal bump. So disp, and I also need to export the model back to 3dsmax because it's been UV'd and the model in 3dsmax is not UV'd. So I'm going into tool palette, export, and Le Chasseur from ZBrush. Okay, I can go back into 3dsmax, get rid of this model, click import, and okay, so I'm importing from ZBrush, so I chose the preset ZBrush here. I don't need to uncheck any one of these, but I want the model to be just one piece and not 4 pieces, so I click import as a single mesh, import as an editable poly because I prefer editable poly to work in 3dsmax. So import, here it is, and now I'm going to use the to set up the displacement first with a simple max solution and then with a Vray solution, but I still use the system with the displacement, the max displacement, and you will see that that's the point of the tutorial. So click on the model, and I'm going to use Turbo Smooth with 2 in the iteration, and then I use the displace from 3dsmax and not from Vray or modifier or etc. Why is that? Because in fact now I will be able to see in the viewport the transformation, and I find this is quite nice to check if there are any problems. So I click hotkey F4 because I don't want to see the wireframe, and in the displace I will click on map place, and I need to retrieve the map here, the PSD map, and override the gamma and put the gamma at 1. Open, collapse layer, it's okay, and then I can do with strength the displace, but everything seems a bit strange. It's because it's a planar projection on the model, but it's not quite right because the model has already been UV'd. So I will click use existing mapping, and then this is something also a bit strange because I need to check luminance center, and now it's also awful, and it's quite normal because I didn't put this map in a slot in instance, and then in instance I will correct the UV coordinate. So I put -1 in V coordinate in the tiling because in ZBrush it's inverted. In ZBrush it's inverted relative to 3dsmax. So that's okay, and as you can see I can find back my displacement and I can see everything in the viewport, which is quite right. So maybe something like this, and the definition of the map of the displacement is done in the turbo smooth area. So see, it's only 3 iterations, and already I can see the form of my sculpture in ZBrush. Of course, the micro details, it's better to use them to retrieve them with the normal map, which I will do in the next video. But we'll make a render with that. See how quick it is to find quite a bit of detail and of displacement, and the rendering time is 1 second. So I can boost it up to 5 iterations in turbo smooth. Gonna be a bit longer, but not that much, and see, everything looks nice, and it's 5 seconds. So I find it pretty cool, pretty neat. I can see that it's not very beautiful here, but this is due to the UV layout. ZBrush didn't do quite the nice way in this part, but that's okay. It's just the UV that is not done correctly. So in the next video I will use Vray also to make the render, and I will show you the normal map